Dave, on the first day of our forever. It feels like both an inevitability and absolute miracle that we should have made it here today. Every day since we've met, and long before, has all been leading us here. Every false start, bad decision, bad relationship and friendship turned sour. I wouldn't change any of it, because it brought us exactly where we're supposed to be. From the moment we met, and that first weekend in London, serenading me with Disney songs on the Underground, you've brought so much happiness and laughter into my life. You changed my world and everything I thought I knew about love. I never dreamed I would find someone who would remind me every single day to dream bigger, to be open to infinite possibilities. Yet you're also the person who I want to seize... Hang on a sec, do that a bit again. Yet you're also the person who I want to seize all the little moments with. You're my soulmate, my other half, the piece of me that I never knew was missing. Meeting you is the best thing that has ever happened to me. All that you are is all that I'll ever need. The past 5 years have been tough, brutal at times, filled with insecurity and uncertainty. What I've always been able to be certain of, though, is us. What could have easily broken us has only made us stronger, and we battled challenges together rather than facing them alone. 5 years of growing up, but never growing apart. Today will be a day forever etched in our memories as the start of our story as one. A fresh page in a new chapter. May today and our marriage be filled with love, laughter and sunshine. Can't wait to see you, to begin the next chapter together, and most importantly, have the most incredible wedding day. Today is going to race by, so let's savour every moment. With all my love, and then a bit more, your Charlotte.
I don't think I know you well.
My darling Charlotte, this is one of the hardest letters I've ever had to write, yet simultaneously one of the easiest. Hardest because condensing everything I could possibly want to say about you into a reasonably concise letter isn't easy. Easiest because writing how I truly feel about you simply isn't hard. It's fair to say that I've never met anyone quite like you. Someone that truly accepts me for who I am, my foibles, failings and idiosyncrasies, my eccentricity, ambition and determination to succeed. Someone that has made a conscious decision to love me wholeheartedly and stand side by side with me in this incredible journey we've embarked on. One of the best barometers, to me at least, of a relationship is how your partner is welcomed and accepted by your friends and family. On that front, it's only fair to say that you're loved honestly and truly by all those I've introduced you to. It was those indications at the start of our relationship 5 years ago that quickly confirmed to me that you were the one. From the word go, I've always been in awe of your abilities and your commitment to your passions, most notably in your love of the natural world that surrounds us. You've opened my eyes to completely new things and encouraged me to truly appreciate life's more beautiful offerings, sometimes the very simplest of things. For that, I am truly grateful. It's rare that you're lucky enough to find someone with both a natural physical beauty and an equally attractive inner beauty too. It's even rarer for that someone to agree to be with you for the rest of their life. I go to sleep every night and wake up every morning amazed that I get to be with you and that you've chosen me. We both know only too well the challenges that life brings, but if our first 5 years have proved anything to me, it's that when we face those challenges head on, together we can overcome them and weather any storm. I truly hope that today brings you all of the wide spectrum of emotions that it should. The nervous excitement, the happiness, the contentment, the fun and the laughter, and perhaps the brief moments of reflection as we remember those who we truly love to be here to share this day with us. Most of all though, I want to say thank you. Thank you for simply being Charlotte, the very same girl that I fell head over heels in love with 5 years ago. The girl that burst into my life, turned my world upside down, and changed it to be forever the better. The girl that has always stood by me, come what may. Finally, I leave you with one simple hope for the future. I hope that you remain as you and we remain as us, because I know that if that is so, our lives together will be filled with happiness, excitement, adventure, passion, and joy until the end of our days. With all my love now and always, David.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. As I hear his waiting. I don't know. I don't know you anymore. I wanna go back to the start. I don't know. I don't know you anymore. I wanna go back to the start. Back to the start.
Yeah. I've got to look 3 times, but yeah. mess already.
Deep breath. I'm more nervous than you. That's it, yeah, continue. Wow. I'm going. What started, isn't it? Right.
Yeah, good. You? All right.
Yeah. I've had cooler days where I'm less sweaty.
Barn looks nice.
What?
Barn looks
What do you think, Landry?
nice. Yes, good.
Please be seated.
Oh, Christ.
Who accompanies this woman today?
I do.
Can't remember which side I'm on now.
David this one.
Oh, my God.
Stand. Welcome everyone to this beautiful venue. This wedding ceremony is the moment in time when Charlotte and David will express their commitment and love for one another in front of their family and friends. They will validate their decision that of all the people on earth, they have chosen each other to travel through life with, to experience limitless road trips, to explore new places and discover new restaurants, to share their hopes and fears, their dreams and difficulties, to comfort when times are hard and to celebrate in times of joy, to keep warm in the cold of night and to delight in the beauty of the sun, the moon and the stars together. Through the union of love, we broaden our family circle, remember our heritage and recall those who gave us life. We call upon our family and friends who we are blessed to have in our lives. We remember those loved ones who are not with us today, especially Charlotte's grandmothers, Vivian and Maureen, who are not able to be here with us. Charlotte's grandfather, Jeff, and David's grandparents, Leslie and Edwina, Peggy and Terry, who are no longer with us. We know that they are here in spirit, and we feel them with us in our hearts. David never got to meet Jeff, however they both shared a strong link to the RAF, and Charlotte always felt they would have had lots to talk about. All of you are the most important people in Charlotte and David's lives. All of the time and conversations that you have had with them before they met helped to make them who they needed to be to find each other. You have shared in their best and their worst days, and you are an irreplaceable part of their yesterdays, their today and their tomorrows. Together you are a rich and diverse fabric woven from different beliefs, lifestyles, ages and viewpoints, yet you are all here celebrating your love for Charlotte and David and wishing for them all that they would want for themselves. Oliver will share our first reading.
No pressure.
Love is friendship caught fire. It is quiet, mutual confidence, sharing and forgiving. It is loyalty through good times and bad times. It settles for less than perfection and makes allowances for human weaknesses. Love is content with the present, hopes for the future, and does not brood over the past. It is the day in and day out chronicles of irritations, problems, compromises, small disappointments, big victories, and working towards common goals. If you have love in your life, it can make up for a great many things you lack. If you do not have it, no matter what else there is, it is not enough.
Thank you, Oliver. The journey that led Charlotte and David to this happy day started in February 2018 at a 40th birthday party. Charlotte went along at short notice. She didn't really know anyone, but was in a phase of her life where she was trying to say yes to more experiences outside her comfort zone. David had become a bit of a workaholic, spending far too much time on the road. When a friend suggested he should meet Charlotte, and after some rapid Facebook stalking, he agreed. It wasn't until later that Charlotte realised it had been engineered that she went as David's +1. However, they spent most of the evening chatting, and with the help of a few drinks and a Domino's pizza, which David bought for Charlotte and which, surprisingly, she didn't share, they hit it off straight away. Up until that point, Charlotte had always been ultra-independent, which was a bit of a battle for David initially. She once told him outright that she didn't need a man around her unless he was going to make her life better. And here we are, so well done, David.
Thank you.
Our lovely couple's first date was at the Three Blackbirds in Wood Ditton, a cosy country pub with a thatched roof. This meeting must have sparked a rather large flame of romance as the pub burned down the following day. Over time, they shared more occasions, more experiences, and David started to realise he couldn't imagine enjoying them any more with anyone else. He wanted to do these things with Charlotte for the rest of his life, and he knew it was love. The feeling of being in love was completely new to Charlotte. She had never looked forward to just doing nothing with someone before. That is what love has meant to her ever since, being equally happy, whatever they're doing and wherever they are, as long as they are together. They spoke about marriage reasonably early in the relationship, and there were a few alcohol-fueled practice proposals from David. They were never intended as the real thing. His record was 3 times in one evening. But they do say you speak the truth when you're a few sheets to the wind.
God loves a try.
Therefore, Charlotte never really had to guess where the relationship was heading. Plus, due to COVID, they ended up booking this beautiful venue before the engagement was official. David had originally planned something meaningful and grand, but the year that was, 2020, put pay to that. As an alternative, he arranged to propose at their favourite restaurant on New Year's Eve with a semi-elaborate scheme devised with the restaurant's owner. However, you remember at the 11th hour, just before Christmas, the next lockdown was announced and all plans unravelled. Luckily, he had bought the engagement ring that very day and had to think on his feet. The only option was the cliché Christmas Day proposal instead. In hindsight, though, while it wasn't the resplendent, perfect proposal he had planned, the moment was shared with Charlotte's family and made for a memorable Christmas. David told me he had always assumed it would be a yes-no answer. He didn't realise that "I want to see the ring first" was also not Charlotte said the yes was implied. To Charlotte, being married means the ultimate team. Every challenge they have faced so far has made them stronger and grow together as a couple. It also means loyalty and being committed to working at the relationship rather than giving up when things get difficult, which is not possible unless you've been able to marry someone who is your best friend too. Someone you can trust and confide in, and someone who will always be your strongest advocate. To David, being married at its most basic definition is the ultimate commitment to another person. It means declaring in front of others that they are the person you want to share your whole life with for the rest of your days. It means committing to share in their interests, their pleasures, their family, their friends. It's about saying that you love them so much that you can't imagine life without them. It's about the silliness, the laughs, the stupid in-jokes that only you and they will understand. It's about the comfort that being with them brings, and the comfort that you give to them. So for Charlotte and David, now is that time for them. David says he has always enjoyed the thought of marriage and all that it stands for, and he has now found the person that embodies all the things that make marriage what it is truly meant to be. Their relationship has been tested by the challenges that have come their way in the time that they have known each other, and they are confident that they have what it takes to get through whatever challenges life will undoubtedly throw at them in the future. Charlotte loves David for his ability to dream big. Since they have been together, her horizons have been expanded in many aspects in life. She loves David for his kindness, patience and understanding, for his emotional and sensitive side. Charlotte loves how he lights up when he's talking about something he's really passionate about, and that he makes time for her friends and family and there are never any complaints. She loves him for his intelligence. She would find it impossible to spend a future with someone she can't have a good debate with. Although David obviously loves Charlotte for her beauty, it's really her brain that he admires the most. He loves that she has a sense of diligence and shows a commitment to things that she does, be that in her work life or at home, and that is so rare to find. He loves that she is truly passionate about so many things in her life, that she has a dogged determination, but also at times a need for reassurance. It is this that gives David a sense of purpose, as he wants to be the one to protect Charlotte, to boost her confidence and to provide comfort. He doesn't always get it right, but he tries to be the best pillar of strength if ever needed. David tells me that Charlotte shows her love for him in many small and meaningful ways. She's the first to offer a handout on a hold to hold on a walk. The one that will write a note or a card to say thank you for something that has meant a lot to her. The one that holds that hug just a little bit longer as a sign of love and affection. She also puts up with his idiosyncrasies. He admits he is a bit of a geek at heart. And whilst she won't feign a fake interest in them, she simply accepts and laughs off the weird and wonderful things he finds interesting. Charlotte tells me that David shows his love for her in many ways. What has meant so much to her is simply giving her his time and attention, whether it's going for a walk with their much-loved dog Jonty, going out for a meal, or just a quiet afternoon in front of the TV with a carpet picnic. He's happy to do things just because he knows how important they are to Charlotte, even though she knows there's things he's less keen to do, such as spending time around the horses. Charlotte also mentions David's cooking. Out of the two of them, he's definitely the chef in the house, and he'll often spend hours slaving over an elaborate meal. As a foodie herself, this is always very much appreciated. Most importantly to Charlotte is that David tells her he loves her every day without fail. They both do things with and for each other that they might not find fun or interesting themselves, but know that their very attendance or interest makes the other happy. And in some rare circumstances, those things even develop into a genuine joint interest or passion, horse trials being the biggest example. David can often be found enthusiastically insisting on the picnic parking at any of the several events they visit each year. I'm not allowed to mention to Charlotte it's the food and drink stalls that are really the draw for him. Whether Charlotte will ever join David in a few hours of Lego building or watching the latest documentary about aviation, the military or business remains to be seen. From David, Charlotte has learned to dream bigger and to look at the whole picture, whilst from Charlotte, David has learned to just take a moment to enjoy the here and now. Today is unique. It is unique because of the combination of the time and place. It is unique because of the two wonderful people we are here celebrating with today. The journey they have taken and the adventures they have yet to enjoy. Their union will hold strong because, despite Charlotte being a staunch vegetarian and David being an even more staunch meat eater, they both love their food. In fact, David would go as far as to say that, frankly, he simply couldn't be with someone who doesn't. It is unique because they don't seem to do things in a conventional way, and their roles in the home very much challenge gender stereotypes. Charlotte is much more likely to be out in the garden with the lawnmower, while David is in the kitchen cooking and washing up. But it works perfectly for them. Their union will hold strong by continuing to communicate, listening to each other, and making time for each other. It will hold strong by them not sweating the small stuff. David and Charlotte, today you are taking into your care and trust the happiness of the one person in this world whom you love with all your heart. And you are giving yourself, your life, and your love into the hands of the one who loves you with all their heart. Remember that to the whole world, you are but one person. But to one person, you are the whole world. However, true love goes far beyond the feelings of excitement and romance. It is caring more about the well-being and happiness of your partner than your own needs and your own desires. True love is not total absorption in each other, but rather it is looking outward in the same direction together. Love makes burdens lighter because you divide them. It makes joys more intense because you share them. Love makes you stronger, so you can become involved in life in ways you dare not alone. True love says the two of you are just better together than when you are apart. Jonathan will now read our second reading.
Sure, John. You got this.
Maybe we're supposed to meet the wrong people before we meet the right ones, so when they finally arrive, we are truly grateful for the gift we've been given. Maybe it's true that we don't know what we've lost until we lose it, but it's also true that we don't know what we're missing until it arrives. Maybe the happiest of people don't have the best of everything, but make the best of everything that comes their way. Maybe the best kind of love is the kind where you sit on the sofa together, not saying a word, and walk away feeling like it was the best conversation you've ever had. Maybe once in a lifetime you find someone who not only touches your heart, but also your soul. Someone who loves you for who you are and not what you could be. And maybe the art of true love is not about finding the perfect person, but about seeing the imperfect person perfectly.
Hooray! Got it!
How many times I've tried.
Thank you, Jonathan, that was perfect. We now have the declaration of intent. Charlotte and David, please join me in the centre.
Come on, step up. There you go. Sorry. You're going to really need to wash your hands after this. Sorry, my moisturiser. Happy days.
David, from this day onward, do you choose Charlotte to be your wife, your best friend, and your only love? To live together, play together, and laugh together. To work by her side and dream in her arms. To fill her heart and feed her soul, loving her until the end of your forever. If so, say I do.
I do.
Charlotte, from this day onward, do you choose David to be your husband, your best friend, and your only love? To live together, play together, and laugh together. To work by his side and dream in his arms. To fill his heart and feed his soul, loving him until the end of your forever. If so, say I do.
I do.
Go for that.
We've come to the point in our ceremony where David and Charlotte are going to say their vows to one another, with all of you as witnesses. David and Charlotte make the following commitments.
Here goes. Charlotte, meeting you, learning about you, and growing to love you has been the greatest honour. You've transformed my life and my world. You've allowed me to indulge in my dreams for us, and I'm just as invested in yours as we worked to map out our future life together. I stand before our family and our friends today, offering you a lifelong commitment based around these promises that I make to you. I promise to love you wholeheartedly as we enjoy and celebrate the best parts of our life and navigate those times that are difficult and challenging. I will love you for the incredible individual that you are now and the person that you will no doubt become in the future. I'll be generous with my time, my affections, and my comfort. I promise to always nurture your passions and enthusiasm, your aspirations and ambitions. Your commitment and ethic to your causes is one of your most redeeming features. And I will always do everything in my power to make them a reality. I promise to seek out the big adventures and the greatest experiences with you, whilst enjoying the smallest and simplest of pleasures in life equally. I shall treasure the memories that we've made in our time together so far, and be by your side as we create new memories together in our future. I finally promise to always be the man you first fell in love with, and the man that you marry here today. I'm going. I shall strive to uphold the values we have that bind us together, whilst recognising that we also have individual and sometimes differing values of our own importance. Today we start our next chapter as our lives truly come together as one, and as our respective families and friendships are also joined by this bond. We are greater than the sum of our parts and truly stronger together as one. I can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together. I love you now, forever, and always. It's a bloody miracle.
Well done. No, fine. Dave.
Yes.
My best friend, my guiding light, my husband from this day forward. I believe in fate, but I also believe in the strength of the choices we make. I love you, but more than that, I choose you and promise to choose you every day for always. I promise to always try to give you the best of myself, to help us create a home together full of laughter, compassion, and respect. Even though I can't promise that our love will be perfect, I can promise you that it will be the most beautiful journey we will ever embark upon together. Like the view from the top of after the uphill climb, our love will always be worth it. I promise to be fiercely loyal to you, to protect and nurture our relationship. I will strive to be the most dependable person in your life, to be your steady foundation as we build our future together. From today, our lives and our dreams are forever entangled, and I promise to encourage and support your ambitions wherever they lead. There is much that we could achieve apart, but we will always be stronger together. I promise that I will always be ready to pack up the dog and the car and head out on the next adventure. I will always remind you to breathe in the sea air, to look up at the trees, to take a moment just to be. I promise that we will endure the storms. I will be at your side through the rain and the sunshine. I will find peace with you in the chaos and contentment in the silence. I promise to make space for you, to listen to you, to communicate. I will never be afraid to sit in the mud with you, metaphorically and sometimes, I'm sure, quite literally. And finally, to quote one of my favourite films, we're all travelling through time together every day of our lives. All we can do is do our best to relish this remarkable ride. I promise to relish our own journey with the person you are today, the person you will grow to be tomorrow, and as the husband and wife we have chosen to be together.
Thank you. Well done. That was beautiful.
Totes emotion.
Charlotte and David will now exchange rings. Who has the rings?
Go for that.
Just like to stand. Okay, that's fine. Perfect as you are. The wedding ring is a circle that has no end and symbolises the never-ending love that exists between you. These rings are made from precious metals, purified by the heat of the refining fire, and are a symbol of the purity of your love for one another. These rings represent the riches that reside in each of you. May these rings always reflect the light of your love throughout your life together. I'd like to pass David.
That one.
Okay, just hold it for one moment. David, place this ring on Charlotte's finger as a token of your love, that it may never be forgotten and always provide comfort with its presence.
Make sure I throw it out first. There we go. Lubrication. Sorry.
Thank you, John.
Have you seen this?
Charlotte, place this ring on David's finger as a token of your love, that it may never be forgotten and always provide comfort with its presence. Well done. We will now sign the ceremonial certificate, a permanent keepsake and record of this celebration and those who have witnessed it today. So Debbie and Derek, will you please join us to sign the certificate? So if you want to sit down, maybe David goes in first and then Charlotte, so you can more room for your dress.
Yeah, no problem.
You go from that side.
Okey-dokey. Thank you.
So, because of Charlotte's dress.
This song will get mum. You watch.
Oh yeah, it's lovely actually, isn't it?
Thanks, Sharon.
Charlotte and David, because you have committed yourselves to each other and demonstrated this by exchanging your vows and rings, you have pledged your eternal love as husband and wife. You may now kiss each other.
No, never.
Oh,
Charlotte and David, if there is anything you remember of this wedding celebration ceremony, it is that it was love that brought you here today. It is only love which can make it a glorious union, and it is by love that your marriage shall endure. I'd like to end by saying a good marriage is one where each partner secretly suspects they got the better deal. Family and friends, will you please be upstanding? It is my great privilege to present to you the happy couple. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much. I'm now handing over to Stephen, father of the bride. Thank you.
Cheers.
Wow.
Microphone.
Wow. Exactly the reaction that I had when I saw Charlotte at 20 to 1. Amazing. First of all, I'm sure it's not traditional, but I'll do it anyway. I'd just like to say thank you to the caterers. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. As has been alluded to earlier on, my mum, Debbie's mum, my wife, unfortunately can't be here today, but I'm sure that they're here in spirit, and they would have loved to have been here. We'll take them some flowers and spoil them to a dress rehearsal, or past rehearsal, but anyway, you know what I mean. But yeah, it's been a fantastic day. You worked so hard for it, so let's enjoy. Right. First of all, as you probably know, now I'm Stephen, and I'm proud to say that I'm Charlotte's dad. Although Charlotte may have inherited my wife's good looks and patience,
Really?
and cooking skills,
That's good.
as Oliver can testify, Charlotte has definitely inherited my spirit of independence, hard work, and definite love of Snowdonia. Events like today don't just happen, and the happy couple have spent many an hour on today. So thank you. It will be a great day for us all. All the hard work you've put in. I'd like to start by thanking each and every one of you that has gathered here today to celebrate the wedding of Charlotte and David, and sharing a very proud day for us. Some have travelled near. There's a few from Ipswich. That's all right. It's all right. Some are even closer than that. And others have travelled far. But your attendance today is a testament to the love for our special couple. And on behalf of Debbie and I, we thank you all. Have a great day. I think that's an instruction. So, Charlotte, where do we start? Okay. Well, both Debbie and I are very proud of our stunning daughter. Parenting is the most important job in the world, in my view, and one where you are most exposed as a parent, particularly when they're young, but we've done our best in trying to allow you and Oliver to follow your dreams. To start, I can remember late one summer night, Debbie come downstairs to say that walls are broken. Hang on, I'm supposed to keep that clean because that's the best man's job. No, seriously, I can remember the day that you were born very clearly, including you being taken away for a check-over, and the nurses saying that you needed a bottle. Well, like I said, I'm independent. So I said, fine, as long as I can give it. So yes, I sat in the postnatal room giving you your first bottle, in floods of tears, I have to say, feeling so proud. You see, on the Bullard side, you were the first granddaughter. After my mum and dad had 5 sons, and the first 3 grandchildren were all boys. So you were always going to be special and have enriched our lives in so many ways. As many will know, you were walking in under a year, trying to catch up with big brother Oliver. You were seen riding your first horse at under 3 whilst on holiday, and it is your passion for animals that shone through into the caring, loving person that we see before us today. You loved your childhood pets, Jessie, cat, Toffee, Fudge, Coco, but horses played a central part in childhood. Now I have to say we really enjoyed our trips to Copdock, Topthorne, cross-country courses and Holcombe Beach with Red. You and him were made for each other, but you cared for all of your horses, both loaned and your own, sometimes to the detriment of your own riding. Now, you may or may not know, but that's not really common with many youngsters because all they want to do is ride. But actually, Charlotte took a real interest in the pony's welfare. So I have no doubts that she'll look after you, David. Thank you for many things, but including the many trips to Burley Horse Trials, Robin, and the holiday that included a dolphin watch in West Wales. Whilst on holiday, it would always be a trip to a local stable for a horse ride. Another memorable trip to Northumberland included Charlotte hanging on for dear life, as about a dozen horses went galloping off when they saw the sea. No surprise that only 3 out of 12 stayed on. Fortunately, from my point of view, Charlotte was one of them. Grinning from ear to ear, well, that was exciting. As I caught up with her on foot, I was the cameraman. She was a model student and really enjoyed, I think, really enjoyed, a World War II trip around Eastern Europe prior to her GCSEs. It probably finished her off history because she didn't take GCSE history, but that's a different story. Now, we often say that a true test of character is when things go wrong. And when Charlotte had a moped accident at 16, it was a real test. The Claydon sixth form tutor could have been more helpful, but wasn't. But her independent streak showed when at 12 weeks she had a hospital routine checkup with the doctor. Well, she didn't ask the question because she knew what the answer would be. But suffice to say that I escorted Charlotte to ride Red just 3 days later. Well, he didn't say no. After then, she was back riding. And then at the next appointment, she was given the all clear to resume riding after a miraculous recovery. Redemption came at 17 when she passed a driving test, with Debbie practically handing over a car to R2. So there was no stopping her. And at 19, after a gap year, she went off to university at Writtle, near Chelmsford. Now, university changed Charlotte for the better, making her more confident, and she showed remarkable fortitude to come back every weekend. Yes, to see Red, but I always look forward, from a dad's perspective, to the Sunday night trips back to uni. I remember a Macmillan Challenge, a marathon walk at Windsor along the Thames. She started it, and by Lord, she was going to finish it, and we did. Just before she went to uni, we brought Honey, a yellow lab, who's still with us today. Sorry, Dave. Charlotte's first love, after Red. Yeah. As she never tells Honey off, we still play silly games with her, which was Charlotte's training. She followed her passion at uni and then into work. Her caring, compassionate side shows every day. We had the privilege of attending her graduation at Chelmsford and last year her Masters in London. Only this time it was with David. And we are so happy that she has met the love of her life. We're so glad that you met each other. Though we suspect the pub where you enjoyed your first date might have a different view. Don't know about a bolt of electricity, but suffice to say, the pub had a major fire overnight. You two. David has changed our daughter's life for the better in so many ways, though he probably didn't know what to expect when he met Charlotte. I don't think mucking out horses was part of the job description. But to be fair, you never seem to shrink or shirk a challenge. At one stage, Red and Hazel were over at Bosmere Hall where I work, and David was left in charge of bringing the horses in. Well, one of them was not for turning, and there was David on the phone to Charlotte, who was miles away on a work assignment, probably with steam coming out of his ears. They didn't want to go in. Anyway, we knew things were serious when you brought David home to us. Now,
Please don't tell this bit.
That's all right, I'll keep it brief. Okay, so there I was in a Liverpool shirt. We'd just lost a Champions League final. Our goalkeeper decided to have a bit of a mare. Anyway, probably out of nerves, David decided that football was not even a proper game.
It's not.
And other jokes. We actually met the next evening for a meal with Oliver and Vicky, and with Charlotte and David, and thankfully it went much better. Though you still need to get into football.
Oh, I don't.
Okay. In the time since, both Debbie and I have been impressed with how you have supported each other, both in the good times, such as Charlotte's Masters, new jobs and opportunities, and home, but also there for the challenges, like, for example, when you lost Red. It's all right. Speaking personally, I shall always treasure the evening run out at it was only a 5K, Supernova event in London. It wasn't the run, it was competitive, but the one abiding memory I've got would be of musicals being blasted out on the car speakers on the way back. Life is always better with a bit of Lion King or The Greatest Showman. We always look forward to meeting up with Pat and Mike, David's mum and stepdad. They're great company, and we also want to thank you both. Firstly, for how you treat our daughter. And in addition, thank you for the great job that you've done in raising David. He is a fine man, and we are really happy to welcome you all into our family. So at this stage, as I wrap up, thank goodness, says Charlotte, I'm supposed to give some pearls of wisdom on marriage. Now, Now, Debbie and I have been married for 40 years, so may have one or two ideas. One, something we don't do but wished we had, set aside regular couple time. There are 168 hours in the week, and make a commitment to devote at least 2 of those hours to your marriage. Make it active and fun. Hang on, that's the best man speech. No, the point is, remember what brought you to this point. Over the years, you will both change, but you can adapt to life's changes. 2, don't throw things, either insults or crockery. 3, turn up the heat. No comment, but be romantic, not take each other for granted. Continue to take an interest in each other's hobbies, but have your own space. At this point, I have a vision of David walking around local fields with a wheelbarrow and Charlotte visiting the National Railway Museum in York. Okay. And finally, avoid keeping score. Marriage, after 40 years, is really not a competition. So in conclusion, please stand with me and raise your glass to the happy couple. Charlotte has been a great light of our lives for the past 30 years, and although she left home a while ago, symbolically, today we hand her over to David, safekeeping. We know that he will love and cherish her as much as we do. A toast to the happy couple. Have a very happy and healthy life full of endless love, laughter and musicals. Charlotte and David. Cheers, everyone.
Hope everyone enjoyed the food, most importantly. My new husband and I are so excited. Are so excited that so many of our closest friends and family could be here to celebrate this happy day with us. There are no doubt going to be lots of thank yous in amongst our speeches, but whether you're mentioned or not, we're so grateful to be sharing today with you. It's very surreal and very wonderful to have all our closest friends and family from all different stages of our lives all under one roof. This is especially true as we know many of you have had to bear with us at times, especially over the past couple of years. We've been through our fair share of challenges recently, and it would seem that we both share that same trait of going a little off-grid when we're feeling overwhelmed. There are many of you who have helped us through these times, and we can't thank you enough for your enduring support, patience, and friendship. Hopefully today goes some way to repaying your kindness. So I'd firstly like to raise a glass to my three wonderful bridesmaids. So Vicky, Kelly, and Emily. So all three of you have been like sisters to me over the years. Thank you for being here, not just for today, but for so many of the important times of my life. So many other brides I know of have had some sort of drama with their bridesmaids. So it's really hard for me not to be a little bit smug that you have been the most supportive and drama-free tribe I could have asked for. It's testament to the incredible people you are, and I feel very lucky and proud to have you in my life. So please raise your glasses and join me in a toast to Vicky, Kelly, and Emily, so to the bridesmaids. So on that note, I'd also like to thank Chloe, wherever you are. You did an amazing job with our hair this morning. You kept us all calm, so thank you very much. I know you're looking around like you didn't do anything, but you did an amazing job, so thank you, Chloe, as well. Now to my brother, Ollie. While in our childhood years we didn't have much at all in common, I'm really grateful that by the time we got a bit older, it never seemed uncool for you to invite your little sister along to festivals and nights out. And now for Dave and I as a couple, some of our most treasured weekends are the ones spent with you and Vicky in Nottingham, finding fun places to eat and drink by day, and getting stupidly competitive over board games by night. Even though we're both now adults, as my older brother, thank you for being such a great pathfinder for me while growing up and still today. To Dave's mum, Pat, and stepfather, Mike. From the day I met you in that busy pub in London, where Dave offered one of his infamously bad introductions of, "Here's my mum," before swiftly disappearing to the bar, you have welcomed me into the family as one of your own. Thank you for all that you do to support us both. To Dave's dad, Derek, and stepmother, Denise. Although we've only recently been able to meet properly, I look forward to making up for lost time and getting to know you better in the near future. To Mum and Dad. Dad, even though you weren't horsey, you took on the challenge of learning to tow a trailer, and it meant some of my best Saturdays as a teenager were spent heading out with Red onto a cross-country course. I'm sure you look back on those memories as fondly as I do. Mum, you spent much of our childhood and then teenage years as an unpaid taxi driver. Whether ferrying me to the stables after school or worse, having to rescue me from a poorly executed night out, which happened on more occasions than I'd like to admit to. Thank you both for letting me make mistakes and learn from them, for always making me get back on the horse when I'd fallen off, even if it was completely against your better judgment. As a metaphor for many things in life, you taught me to dust myself off and try again. I will always be grateful for you both, working so hard to remove as many barriers and limits as you did for us growing up. You taught us to follow our dreams and work hard to get there. And finally, thank you for welcoming Dave into the family and for your unconditional support and love for us both as individuals and as a couple. And now to my husband, Dave.
He's still making notes.
That's going to take some getting used to. I'm not sure how to sum our journey to today up in just a few words, but it's not often that you get to celebrate your partner in front of all your friends and family, so I will do my best. We've had a mountain to climb to get here, although I know Dave will argue that mountain started when we met. I was extremely independent and had a bit of a knack for repelling men with just one glance. Dad, as a young woman's father, you would have been so proud. You all heard the story earlier in our ceremony about how we fell in love over a few drinks and a Domino's pizza. That's probably the Disney fairy tale version. The reality was that for Dave, the next few months that followed was a phase I look back on as the 3-month probationary period.
I'm still not out of it.
On reflection, I was just really worried about losing my independence, but what I didn't realise was how empowering it can be to have someone completely and unconditionally on your side. Dave, quite simply, you are my favourite person. You're the person I want to share my whole life and everything in it with.
Thank God for that.
That ease that we felt when we first met has never gone away, despite all the ups and downs that life has given us over the past few years. You are kind, patient, caring, and above all, you allow me to unapologetically, yes, be myself. Not too much Prosecco. I will always be the Suffolk horsey girl who gets a little bit too excited by Land Rovers and tractors, hence the Land Rover here today. But you allowed myself to embrace that, and better yet, share in it too. You've expanded my horizons and made literally anything feel possible. One element of our relationship that Dave has managed to embrace is his role as an occasional horse widow. For those who are unfamiliar with this term, it basically means that there is a mutual understanding that where horses are concerned, even if they're not mine, time loses absolutely all meaning. I'll be back in 10 minutes really means it will definitely be 2 hours or more. See you in a bit means I've purposefully not put a time limit on this so you can't get angry for how long I'll be. And I've had to call the vet means, yeah, I'd be making other dinner plans if I were you. Today is not our happy ending, but a fresh start and the beginning of a new and exciting adventure. We may not have the perfect answer to everything that comes our way, but what we do have is each other. While our journey here has not been easy, I know that we've overcome so much that will only make us stronger as we go forwards from today as husband and wife. So I'd like to raise a glass one last time to my new husband, Dave. To Dave.
Everybody needs a Dave.
That sounds good. I like the sound of it.
One last bit. What?
How many pages are there?
Just this last bit. Calm down. As one last final word, the best gift we could ask for is that you all have a great time celebrating with us today. For us today, it is all about making memories. And with that in mind, just as a small plea from both Dave and I, we'd like to ask that you limit the use of cameras today, and especially during our first dance later on. I promise this isn't some massive bridezilla moment on my part. As with our ceremony, it's just really important to us to look out on a sea of faces rather than a sea of phones. We have our amazing videographer, Mike, and our photographer, Ian, with us today, and they'll both ensure that not a moment is missed, and we'll absolutely share the videos and photos with you later. So thank you, and we hope you enjoy the party.
I'm going off piece to start with. I don't know how Charlotte has gone this entire day without blobbing in the slightest, and I've just been a mess and a wreck all day. So, well done. Hang on. So I wrote a letter to Charlotte this morning, as is apparently tradition on your wedding day, I'm told. Thankfully, most of what I wrote to her, I kind of wanted to put in this speech today, so it was a simple case of cut and paste, which has been brilliant. The rest of this speech might be a bit hit and miss. I forgot to paste. Firstly, Stephen's kind of slightly stolen my thunder, but thankfully not in a big way. But when he's talking about the catering earlier, there's so many people who have made today possible in such a big way. But Natalie, Dan, the entire team at Socius, who've come down all the way from North Norfolk in Burnham Market, or Burnham Market in North Norfolk, that's the one, have come down to create the amazing food you've just had. I think I've spoken to most people, and you've all had fantastic words to say about them. Oh God, you really haven't. Jesus. These guys are incredible at what they do. They've just recently won AA's Best Restaurant of the Year for England. Am I right in saying? Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, give a round of applause to these guys, but you've kind of done it. But guys, thank you so much for everything, honestly.
Thank
been brilliant.
you.
On a similar vein, the Nag Shed, so you've all seen the little horse box outside, so there are a team doing the bar tonight. It's clear that some of you have already been paying several visits to them. Keep going, please, because if we don't spend enough with them, then we get charged a higher fee, so just keep going to the bar. But guys, I think the guys were...
They were hovering around.
They were hovering around, they've disappeared, but anyway. A huge thank you to those guys. Mike and Ian, where's Mike gone?
The ones with the camera. Where's he gone?
Oh, he's over there. There he is. He's waving. Mike and Ian are videographer and photographer. I've known Ian for several years now. Couldn't have anybody else doing this. And when you go to pick a videographer and you come across Mike's website and his social media, you just go, that's the guy. He's got to do this. So, you know, we've got the best in the business. Incidentally, Ian has said if anybody's got any problem with the photos, he's happy to do some photoshopping if you slip him a £5. John, he said your charge is 50 quid. Cheers. Also, Poppy from, where is she from? Hazelbury Kitchen, who did our cake down there in the glorious sunlight down the end there. This was completely done from a garbled message I sent her, basically saying I need it to be kind of this, and this, and she's just interpreted that perfectly to sort of reflect our country Suffolk theme today, really. So a huge thank you to her. Also to Heather, our celebrant today, probably the happiest person on this planet. You know, we again, you know, searched for her, found her online, had a Zoom meeting with her, had a meeting with her in Lavenham for coffee. But importantly, she let us be us today, and you know, let us kind of write our own vows. She questioned us intently on a questionnaire and interpreted that into the words she said today. But importantly, everything that's kind of happened down in that end of the barn today is all been about us and all been about our expressions rather than anything legal or statutory. So that was really important to us. Our string quartet, several of you guys have said they were brilliant today. From what I heard, we were sort of in and out a bit, sort of seeing them. But they were fantastic through the ceremony, so a huge thank you to them. And a slightly eclectic choice of music on our part, so well done if you heard Thunderbirds and ELO. Mum and Mike, guys, thank you for all your support throughout my life. Oh God, here it comes. And in the run-up and final hours to today, you've just been fantastic and couldn't have asked for more help. Incidentally, it's also their wedding anniversary today. There may or may not be any coincidence in the fact that we've booked our wedding on the same day, so that if I ever forget mine, I can get a reminder, which is handy. Dad and Denise, the past few years haven't been easy, from my part, but glad we've been able to connect again. I'm just really pleased you're here. Thank you. Not that one. Excuse me. See, told you, one of us is the blubber. It's me. John and Chloe. Chloe, yeah, thanks for everything for today, but thanks for being a wonderful sister-in-law. And John, thanks for being a fantastic brother. Proud of you both, very proud of you both. As you'll know, John is a policeman for Suffolk Police. Keeps us all safe out there. And doesn't get the thanks he always deserves. Nor do the police at all. But, so yeah, thanks for that. And Chloe, you started a new business and really, really proud of you. So, right, Ollie and Vicky. This is really short, but basically, thanks for letting me marry your sister. Always a result. Sorry I don't know more about football. I'm not going to try to. And here's to many more drunken stumbles around Nottingham. Invite soon to be great. Stephen and Debbie, your support today and all the way through our relationship has been incredible. And without you today, frankly, wouldn't have happened. It really wouldn't. Thank you for being parents to the most beautiful girl in the world. And thank you for allowing me to be part of your family. That kind of goes out to the wider Bullards in the room as well. You know, you're all one of a kind, and it's great to be part of that wider circle now, even as a rank outsider. So, to just 5 individuals, I won't say why, but just 5 names who they just know what they've done. Ben. Oh. I'll get through them. I'll get through these 5 names. Ben, Martina, Simon, and then Pete and Matt, who are coming later on. So, yeah, for reasons unknown, we'll say at the moment. I knew I'd get a song lyric in there. Yes. Excellent. Brilliant. To my best man, JT. God bless you. And of course, your wonderful wife, Rita. 2 incredible friends who I'm incredibly grateful to for being here today. I've got to stop writing this stuff. It just makes me cry. Your love and support over the years has been incredible. Incidentally, one of the reasons I did pick John to be my best man is that usually after a good meal and a couple of beverages, he can be relied on to just kind of fall asleep. So I was kind of hoping he wouldn't actually have to do a speech in the end. Apparently I'm out of luck on that front. He's still with us. Okay. Last but not least. Oh, Charlotte, that's all. Charlotte. This is purely a thanks for being an absolute force of nature. And this is just a thanks for bringing everything together today through intense planning, some incredible spreadsheets, and a drive for making today as perfect as possible. Which kind of brings me on to a bit more about you, I suppose.
Oh, Lord.
Sheet number 3. I spend a lot of my time thinking, why me? So do we. Yeah. Why did we invite you? Oh, yeah. But also being forever grateful that for some reason you have chosen to be with me and to marry me today. For the moment we met, it was love at first sight for me. For Charlotte, it was you're okay at 3 pints of Aspals and a further 3 months until a hint of, I guess you're sort of all right. Needless to say, I was quite a trier for those first few months. Hey? What I learned very quickly is that I'd fallen for someone incredible. Someone with a natural outer beauty and at the same time all the inner beauties that you could want in someone. She's intelligent, driven, normally by me, and incredibly passionate, all very much her defining features. She's taught me to slow down and enjoy the simplest things in life and to just be in the moment. She's brought me a sense of joy and happiness in life that I've never experienced before. There is undoubtedly a slight age gap in our relationship. It's never something that's worried us at all. Charlotte's always been far more mature than her years. It did put it in perspective one night, however, when we worked out that when I was in sixth form studying Plato, she was in year 3 studying Play-Doh. I knew that one would go down well. She constantly surprises me. Never more so, you're going to love this bit. She constantly surprises me, never more so than when I discovered her innate ability to recite all 3 verses of The Owl and the Pussycat back to back. I'll put a drink behind the bar for the first person to get her to do it for them later. Unless you want to give it a go now.
No.
Good. You did say you wouldn't, but there we go. Charlotte has stood by me through some of the toughest times in my life with incredible resilience, when anyone else simply may have said, this is too tough, and walked away. She's proven to me that as a couple, we're exponentially stronger than some of our parts, and together we can weather any storm. God, tell me this ends soon. For all these things, I will be eternally grateful.
You are welcome.
Thanks. My single hope for the future, for our future, is that she continues to be her, and we continue to be us. Because if we do, our life will always be filled with happiness, joy, laughter, and fun. I'll conclude with a quote from a completely unknown source. I found this in my phone the other day from 2020, some random thing I'd saved from Facebook or wherever. And I read it again and thought, that's going at the end of the speech, that works. The ideal relationship is one where you can be yourself, but still learn about yourself. Where you can speak your mind, but still be challenged sometimes. Be independent, but still know you have support. And feel comfortable, but still try new shit that tickles and scares you a little. I feel that perfectly encapsulates what Charlotte and I have together. To that end, with glasses charged, I'd like to make a toast to my beautiful bride, Charlotte. Oh, thank God for that. Dare I say, the moment everybody waits for, the best man, this better be good. There's a lot of expectation here. That's just from me.
You all right? You're at me at it now. Sorry. Oh.
Do you want a tissue?
Hold on a minute.
Oh.
Right, that's my nose, not my eyes.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Glasses, thank you. When you get to my age, right. Well, before I start, I'd like to just thank Stephen, Charlotte and David for those excellent words. It's not often that you can say those in public with a group as large as this, and I think that's absolutely brilliant. I'd like to say a few words about this chap who's pouring a glass at the moment.
Large glass.
Large glass. For those of you who don't know me, to David, I'm called Sausage. Okay? I think it's because I've got a pork allergy, but I'm not quite sure. I've been friends with David for the last 10 years, We've been on a... So I might as well... There's no point using it. Can everyone hear me? Okay. We've been on a few adventures together, and during that time, I've got to know him really well and can honestly say he's a selfless and honest guy.
Selfish or selfless?
No, selfless.
Just checking.
Okay. Turn the hearing aid down a bit now. A very good friend to the aged. I feel very, I must keep this here. I feel very privileged. No, it's okay. I feel very privileged and honoured to be standing here as his best man, celebrating the marriage of David and Charlotte, which came at long last. Took a long time to put together, but the evidence today is it's been well worth the wait. I hope you've had a good and lovely afternoon so far and continue to have a fantastic time in this amazing setting as the day and evening progresses. I'd also like to thank the bridesmaids down the bottom. Well done, ladies. Oh, not forgetting your good self, who look absolutely gorgeous. Both sets of parents, okay? And I'd also like to apologise in advance, okay, if I in any way ruin all of that in the next 5 minutes. I met David doing something my old mum had told me not to do. That was to speak to a strange man on a dark night in a field known as Newmarket Races. But as you can see, it turned out okay for him. The reason I spoke to him was because we were both waiting to pick up drunken passengers at a, what would you call it, a tribute band evening. And I noticed that while I was sat in my taxi, which was a Ford Galaxy, another Ford Galaxy pulled up. And I only thought we had one car, but we've got another one. And on the side of it, it had the same logo, Alpha Cars. But when I got out and walked round, David's car had Alpha Cars Executive. Turn the page. From then on, we kept in touch and helped each other out with our respective taxi businesses. I've also run another business for the past 20 years, and David, as of late, helped me with that business as well. What I actually do is set up trade and exhibition fairs, which I've done successfully for all that time. But on the first training session with David, he actually put me right that I'd been doing it wrong for the previous 20. One of our ventures, because we did travel abroad to set up exhibitions, was a wonderful trip to Nuremberg. If any of you have done it, it's a 15-hour drive, okay, and there is a lot of time spent in the vehicle. As you know, if you've ever been to Germany, you drive along the autobahns, okay? And I'm looking over at Jonathan now. What's the speed limit over there, Jonathan? There isn't. That's just as well, because David didn't take any notice. My poor Mercedes Sprinter was smoking on the way back.
It was a Sprinter, not a crawler.
Yeah, touche. Let's find another page. Okay. So on the 15-hour drive, on the way out, I then learnt that David has an aversion to heat. So, if you can imagine, it's February, the weather outside is -8 to -10. David's got the bloody windows open. I'm having to put woolly hat, coat, scarf, right, and earmuffs just to stay warm. I also found out he loves, what were those legs called?
Legs?
Yes, at the move and pick.
Oh, buffalo wings. Buffalo wings.
I was asking him. All right? Wings, not the band. You won't remember Wings, the band, will you? Anyway, so we got it all done. Very successful, okay? And on the way back, I think David was a bit bored because he said, can I put some of my music on? So he did. So not only was I cold, freezing, I was now deaf because I just couldn't understand what was going on. And he actually said to me, JT, this is house music.
Oh, deep house.
Deep house music? I thought that stuff you played when you're in your lounge on a Sunday morning. But to date, I still have it on Spotify. See, us oldies do have some... I'm losing the plot here. So, is that correct? Yeah. Yes, it is. Good. I just wanted to check. Right. Yeah. Page 5? No. Page 5. Yeah, we've done the warm bit. We've done the return. Okay. Since... No, I've got to mention that lovely lady next to him. So I'm reading, it's okay. So in 2018, okay, we met the lovely Charlotte on a lunch date in Cambridge. First visit, first time, and we could see the sparkle between them. We actually knew then that Charlotte would be the one if he played his cards right. But from what I've heard today, it was a bit of a trauma.
And I'm a terrible card player.
Terrible card player, but how lovely you are looking today. Super. Good. We've been with them several times since, and even my vocabulary has improved, because we don't go on walks now, we go on bimbles. Do you know what a bimble is?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Right, page 5, done that one. Okay. So, basically, right, the point of this is that age is no barrier to friendship.
Absolutely.
He has been... I'm at it now. No, I'm all right. I've curbed it. It's okay. He's been a really good friend. He's helped me out with my business. He's made sure that we were both always okay, even through his own adversities that they've had over the... Let's just leave it there. They've been great friends, okay, and they've always cared about us. And I'd just like to say that true friends don't come any better than you two, okay? So what I'd like to do now is to ask you for the final time, okay, to make sure you've got something in your glass, because I didn't want to go on too long, okay? Has everyone got something in their glass? I would like you to stand as the final toast, okay, to wish them... I'm getting there. Okay? Wish you both a married life full of love, happiness and joy. To David and Charlotte. We're done.
Friends, great family as well. Thank you.
You're right in the feelings there, you Mark. God, it's over here.
Do you want that?
Oh, I'll borrow that, yeah. 'Cause
harder in the coffin line. Come and beat again, oh breathe again. Whoa. Rise up from the dark, I see a light ahead. Wait for us, wait for us. Oh, rise up from the grave, hear life call. Wait for us, wait for us. Oh, heart buried underneath the concrete pad. Is there another way? Is there another way? And the rain pours heavy on the waiting stone. Come and beat again, oh breathe again. Whoa. Rise up from the dark, I see a light ahead. Wait for us, wait for us. Oh, heart buried underneath the concrete pad. Is there another way? Is there another way? And the rain pours heavy on the waiting stone. Come and beat again, oh breathe again. Whoa. Rise up from the dark, I see a light ahead. Wait for us, wait for us. Oh, heart buried underneath the concrete pad. Is there another way? Is there another way? And the rain pours heavy on the way.